Do you remember what the global change was like? Do you remember what the change was like the last time when we were like, oh yeah, we want change? No. Let's design the change. The people who know this, I just was on an elevator with somebody who said, my dad is in commodities and he's moving over to Australia. And he said, as the elevators were closing, he said, and my father said, you should really look into natural gas. Elevators close. I said, natural gas. I looked at my chief researcher, Joe, and I said, Joe, what did we hear about 2 weeks ago about natural gas? That all the oil companies are starting to buy up all this natural gas. Why buy natural gas? Because, 2 days ago or last night, China announced that their cars that they're going to start building in the future are all going to be natural gas. The people who know get rich. The people who are designing the future can last. But if we stick our head in the sand, if we just want to say, oh, no, nothing's going to change, it's going to change all around us. Somebody else is designing. Somebody else is preparing. Are you going to be part of that team? Or are you going to be angry or bargain or worse yet, be in denial? We need to figure it out, lift each other up, and help those in need. Keith Abloh is here, and Keith is he's a shrink. So of course I know him. He's a shrink, and Keith, help me out on these. Let's take me through denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. But let's do this because this is normally if somebody dies, right?
Dies or is diagnosed with a terrible illness or loses a job, whatever it might be, a terrible calamity.
Okay. If I am, come on down here. Yeah. If I am, I don't need to explain this. I mean, you guys feel like your country is dying, right? Right? Okay. So, how many here in this audience, is there anybody here that's in denial? Is there anybody here that knows anybody in denial? Okay. We'll start you with the jacket here. What is your name? Yes. You, sir. Yes. Tell me. Yes.
Danny.
Hi, Danny.
There's lots of people I try to talk to, and they have no clue what's going on. They don't even know who you are.
But there's a difference between that's
real denial.
Yeah.
I can write a prescription.
Yeah. Tell me, but I mean that's not denial. That's just being, I don't know, oblivious.
Well, there's denial where you are ready to fight a little bit, and you've got your back up, and you say, this can't be true.
Right.
I've gotten this diagnosis. No, it's not reality. But really clever people, the form of denial they want you to have is silence. You're not even aware of it, right? You're not even in touch with the facts, so that you don't even have the opportunity. Your psyche doesn't even mount the defense of denial, really, that loud, no, it can't be. That's at least on the road here of the stages. But if you're quiet and you're like, I've never heard of that.
Josephine, you're way up in the back, right up in the back. Tell me about the person that you were in class with.
Oh, well, I've been in class. I teach, and I also was in class with a bunch of people, and they just don't understand what's going on in the world. I take certain classes, and they just don't get it. They look at you like you're crazy when you say, you know, that the economy isn't going well or things aren't right, and then you tell them, well, look at the oil price, it's going up, and they just don't get it. And they get all their news though from popular shows.
Yeah, they get. You know, I figured this. I figured this recently, that what better way to keep people sheep than making sure, and I'm part of this, making sure that people get their news from a comedian.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, at least I'm giving it in context. I'm trying to make the news entertaining to bring people in, but Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, that's not news. That's a monologue. That's jokes.
That's jokes, it's entertainment, and it can be a drug. So drugs keep company with denial, right? You know something about this from your life story.
Right.
When you might say, and I know something about your life story,
yes.
where you might say, I can't be an alcoholic. I don't drink during the day.
Yeah. I did
That's denial.
I did. I'll pick it up in just a second. Hang on, we'll take a break. Back in a minute. We have to come back and talk about it. Okay. We're back with psychiatrist Dr. Keith Ablow, and we're doing a shrink session here on the country. Because how many people here believe the country is mainly in denial on what's coming? Okay, so almost everybody. Denial is, as a recovering alcoholic, you'll find all kinds of loopholes. And you'll say, like I did, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I watched the clock for 5 o'clock. I'd watch it. Because in my head, as long as I didn't drink before 5, I wasn't an alcoholic, because alcoholics drink, in the daytime. 5 o'clock, it's happy hour. And then I was hammered until I would go to bed.
Sure, or every day, or
Yeah.
no, I can't be an alcoholic. I've lost 3 jobs, 2 DUIs,
Right.
but I only do it 4 days a week.
Right.
No, you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
By the way, the bigger the fear, the bigger the threat, the more people are inclined to deny it. It's always the serial killer next door that everyone says, well, we never really thought about that. The jaywalker, oh, we all know him. Right, because we can contain that.
So denial, it keeps you in a box. It just keeps you there, and you want to find. Nobody wants to go to acceptance. Anybody here want to go, Donna?
No, I don't want to go. Well, I didn't want to go to acceptance until we talked about it, because I was always afraid that that means that we're giving up on the country, that we're saying the country is going to die. But after talking to you earlier off air, you had said that no, by accepting it, we're ready to move on and fight for the country and reclaim it.
We are willing to say that the chapters that have already been written, it is time to turn
Yes.
the page, and it is time to start anew and fresh. I can accept now that the country is not going to look anything like it has since I've been born. I don't know what it's going to look like. It is terrifying. That's why I was in depression for a long time, because you mourn for the things that you go, but I don't even know what this is going to mean for my kids. I don't know what the world is going to look like.
And you are paralyzed until you can get out of denial. You can't fight a cancer. If you don't believe you have it, you'll let it continue to grow. What you're up to, obviously, by outlining the symptoms of the cancer is telling people, look, here it is. This is the illness. Now let's get working. Acceptance is when you say, okay, I see it. It's on the CAT scan. Fair enough. What do we do?
Yeah.
Who's the doctor?
It really is the cancer patient that survives. It's the cancer patient that says, really? Well, I'm going to whoop its ass. That's what it
exactly
is.
right.
That's acceptance.
And I thought it was that you were admitting that you were going to die,
No.
not that you were going to beat it.
You're
So I
going to lose your hair.
misunderstood.
You're going to go through chemo. It's going to be nasty.
Gotcha.
But
But
bring it on.
bring it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So denial and anger is the next. Are these the two most dangerous? Because
I think absolutely.
Yeah.
Because anger, where does it get you? That's the why me? Why does it have to be me? There's that bad guy in prison. He couldn't get cancer?
Right.
Well, look, what does that really get you? We got to get on the move here, because you're paralyzed still, because what are you doing? You're wasting a lot of emotional energy.
And bargaining that's really kind of like what we're doing with the budget now. Well, you want this and I want this. This is this earmark thing. That's ridiculous.
Bargaining's just what you said. It's, I'll take the scanner. Okay, well, maybe I've got a little cancer, and these folks are being real intrusive, but the scanner's not as bad as the pat-down, right?
And then depression, I think, is a hard one, because it can be debilitating. It really can be. It is hard to face the facts.
It's very tough. It really is. Once you realize that you're in a tough place, it's a kind of hunkering down. It's the desire in all of us. Can't someone just take care of me? And it's so dangerous, because right now our leaders are telling us to live in that state.
It is. And it is also, I will tell you this. If it wasn't for 828 for me last year, I don't know whether I would have made, I might have just went, you know what, I'm going to the mountains. I'm going to the mountains. You know what, whatever happens, happens, I'm going to the mountains. But 828 kept my feet focused on doing something, and it pulled me out and pulled me through that. It is really real and really powerful.
Well,
What'd you say? What'd you say?
It gave you hope.
It did give me hope.
Yeah.
It did give me hope. And
All those people.
you see the people, and you're like, and you realize, we're doing this thing in Wilmington, Ohio in a couple of weeks. Here's a town that just got its butt whooped. 7,500 jobs lost in a town of 12,000. And they're not out. They're not out. They've started prayer centers. They're out working. They're doing everything they can. This town gives me hope because they're not sitting back. They've accepted, yep, DHL is gone. We've lost those jobs. Roll up your sleeves. Now what? That's the story. And I've got somebody that I want you to meet next that you may never have heard of. And you want to talk about somebody getting their butt whooped and going through all of these stages and then saying, really? I want to introduce you to him and his wife next.
America is broke, and Glenn Beck is gonna fix it. Glenn Beck rebuilds America's engine in theaters December 2nd with an encore December 8th. Tickets at fathomevents.com.